Doo-doo. Whoa. Whoops. Didn't realize you guys were filming today. I'm really sorry. I just got back from the concert. I'm not even ready for this. I guess let's get classy. Today we're going to be talking about music in film, specifically two movies we're going to be looking at today. That is going to be Man of Steel, this recent Superman movie, directed by Zack Snyder, and we're also going to be looking at Blade Runner, directed by Ridley Scott, which is a little older than Man of Steel. And that's a joke because it's quite older than Man of Steel. So let's take a look at Man of Steel first. The way it uses music as a medium and instrument in the grand scheme of things in the entire movie universe. So it starts off with the central theme of Superman's theme, and it plays throughout the movie at various moments, key moments, when you're supposed to empathize with Superman, whether he's getting beaten up, whether he's falling from space, whether he's watching his father slash uncle slash whatever you're calling him get sucked away in a tornado. All of these things have this moment with music. And if you look at Nerdwriter, a YouTuber, he made a video talking about how Zack Snyder tries to make every scene a moment. And so you'll be like, whoa, I remember that moment. But he tries to do it with every scene. And that's what ruined the movie. And I would agree that the movie does try to have too many moments. But for the moments that are in there, I do believe each one of them could have been that moment that people talk about. It's just that there's quite a few in there, so it's harder for people to pinpoint, oh, this is when the movie picked up for me. If everything is trying to be a high point, where are the low points, Like, are they more dramatic, or are they, yeah. But we're not here to talk about whether Man of Steel is a good movie or not. I wanted to talk about the song and its association with Superman. By the end of the movie, you have heavily associated that specific theme with Superman's character, with him as a hero. You have associated it with him. And when you get to Batman versus Superman, they bring that theme back for every scene which Superman is making a triumphant scene. And Batman has his own theme as well, and so does Wonder Woman in the movie. And I just love that. They do a great job of giving each of the characters a theme. Now, this isn't the first movie to do this, or the first cinematic universe to do this, but I think the way they did it's so poetic. The music is pretty understated at points. Wonder Woman's is that obvious dun-na-na-na. I'm not very good at imitating, but it's got that very dramatic sound. You're like, oh, that's Wonder Woman's theme. But Superman's is so subdued. It's just quiet, and it's just really beautiful. I'm going to see if I can put some in here so you can hear it. And it's so recognizable, too. I was in Target last week, and while I was there, I was walking down the aisle for the toy section, because of course I was, and I heard the Superman theme, or at least I thought I did. And I was like, wait, is there a commercial for a Man of Steel movie that I don't know about? And I wander into the TV section, and I see a bunch of videos playing for Xbox exclusives. And I was really confused, and I kept listening, and the music was coming from that. So the Xbox multimedia team had used the theme of Superman's theme in their advertising. And I thought that was strange, but it's so recognizable for me, at least, that I instantly knew that was the theme of Superman. And I did a sound search on my phone just to make sure, and yep, it was the theme for Superman. And I was like, wow, they're using it for this. And that just shows, in my mind at least, that the movie did such a good job of combining, this is Superman, this is his theme, they are going together. And I think Superman's theme is really important because it shows a duality in the character, where he's a human, but he's also an alien, and he's trying to be both, but the one he wants to be more seems to be the human, because, when he goes into hiding in the film. And I think the music, when it's so slow at times, and it's just quiet, and its volume slowly gets louder, it's him as the human part trying to fix the situation in a way that he doesn't have to blow up buildings, he doesn't have to zap and brains out of people, like he snaps Zod's neck at the end. A lot of people have trouble with that scene, but I think that scene was done really well. You can see the pain in Superman's eyes as he does that horrible act. You can see that he knows this is the only living person from his planet that he knows of left in the universe, and he is about to kill his only known species, and he doesn't want to do it. He even gives Zod a chance. He's like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to make me kill you. But he ends up having to do it anyways. And the music just throughout the whole movie is so beautiful. And I think it really captures Superman as a human, relatable character. Before this movie, I did not like Superman. I thought he was too much of a patriotic guy. I mean, nothing wrong with patriotism. It can be done right with superheroes. For example, Captain America does it really well. But I think with Superman in the comics, he's just such a go boy, you know? He'll go wherever the president tells you, especially when he has to go after Batman in various comic books. He's just like, you know, you don't want to make me do this, you know? And I hate that so much, that character of Superman. But this movie did it in such a way where he's not just this go beat him up guy. He's a human first, Superman second. You can tell that there are scenes when he doesn't know what to do because he's just the guy in the suit being Superman. The suit is not who he is. He is a human with the suit on and taking that role as a character. And I think the movies did a great job of portraying that. And the music really helps to attach itself to him and make that part of his personality. So if you just heard the music and then were given what his character was like, you would be able to associate the music with that character perfectly. So next we'll talk about Blade Runner. I think Blade Runner does something similar, and it does it really well. The Blade Runner music by Vangelis does something incredible, and I just love the synthesizer music. Throughout the entire movie, it sets the tone so well for the theme of the film. An eerie theme, futuristic, noir, you know. Vangelis takes a lot of keys from old black and white noir movies like The Maltese Falcon, especially with their music, and puts it in a synth kind of thing and like distorts it. With synth music, you have this way of playing keys in a certain order or holding the keys down that just makes it kind of distorting the music like that, and it makes it sound more eerie. So he makes it more of a suspense theme as well. My favorite scene in that movie has no dialogue, only music, and it's when Deckard is coming home and it shows him standing on the balcony of his apartment, and it just pans down. And this is like an in-between scene. The camera pans down and you see the alleyway and the city, and it's a very short scene, maybe 30 seconds, but that's what you see in the music right there. That's my favorite track in the whole movie, that music right there. And it just sets the tone for the whole movie. And it's like halfway through the movie this happens. And it just shows you this is the city, this is the grunge, this is where he lives. He's a part of the city. Deckard, this detective who hates, just like, you know, it seems like he has a love-hate relationship with the law. He knows this is his job, this is what he was born to do, but at the same time, he hates it because he's just, you see the worst in humanity and society by doing this, and it's so hard, you can lose yourself in your job. I think the music in that scene, when it shows him up on the balcony and it pans down, and you see that he lives smack dab in the middle of the city, in the worst parts and the best parts all at once, and you're able to see this character grow, and you're able to see this character diminish all in one snippet. You can see this is who he is, this is why he is. And the music in that scene, it just is so poetic, and it just catches you off guard, because it's just so, it sounds like a lost person kind of like calling for help, and it's just so beautiful and poetic and sad all at the same time. And I just love that scene so much. I can only say so much because words lack a way to describe why I enjoy that scene so much. I had a film class a few years ago in college, and they said pick a 30-second scene and emphasize what your favorite parts about it were. Easiest 30-second scene ever to pick. I picked the scene from Blade Runner, picked that scene, talked about the music, just how much I loved it, and Vangelis and Deckard's character, just everything. Of course, it was just the greatest thing ever. So yeah, music has a way of impacting the characters in film, setting tones, and it's just incredible. If you want to see another video about this, or a video that talks about music in a film and the characters, I definitely suggest checking out Nerdwriter's channel on YouTube. One of my favorite videos of his is when he talks about music from Lord of the Rings, where he takes a certain character's, so the ring as a character he's looking at, and takes their theme and follows it through the entire first movie of Lord of the Rings, and shows how that theme is expanded upon and taken apart with instruments and different techniques. And I just love that. Music in film is so interesting. Even if you don't love music in general, or you're just like, I know it's there. Music makes such a huge impact on a movie. It makes or breaks it. And I just love it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast episode of me just talking about music and film, specifically Man of Steel and Blade Runner, two of my favorite films. I will try to link in the description those tracks, both of the ones I mentioned, so you can listen to them and see what you think. And put a comment below. Say, hey, I love this music in this movie, and I hate this music in this movie, and just give me your opinions. So thank you so much for listening. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode.